Now on 18 Eyewitness News.
Coming up on 18 Eyewitness News, a ribbon cutting is set for the new Fredericktown Middle School. Also, fall enrollment in Mineral Area College is now underway, and the St. Francis County Jail is once again keeping federal inmates. All of these stories, and will those triple-digit high temperatures be back soon?
Coverage you can count on. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
Hello everybody, I'm Aaron Cox and here is our top story. The Fredericktown School District is going to be holding a ribbon cutting ceremony and an open house for their new middle school on August 7th. The ceremony is set for 6 in the evening with the open house immediately afterwards. When Superintendent Dr. Kelly Burleson gave our 18 Eyewitness News camera crews a look in the school, he mentioned a big change in the school's cafeteria.
In this building, the stage area will be separate from the gym. In the old middle school, it was all part of the gym area, and that's going to be a big help when it comes to from an instruction standpoint.
As with the former school, the new facility is designated to hold 450 students in grades 6th through 8th. However, Dr. Burleson points out the new building has better security and safety systems.
We'll have a more improved security system. The fire safety system will be better. There'll be a sprinkler system in this building. So those kind of improvements will be a huge help. Another safety system is the school's FEMA gym, a shelter from natural disasters. While the walls will be completed by August 1st, the interior won't be finished until December. The $7.5 million facility will be ready for students on August 16th. Now Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast. Dustin?
Good evening, Aaron. Good evening, everybody. We saw some sunshine today, a lot of warm weather, and it's just going to continue to be hot. But for the weekend, we're going to be a little bit cooler than what we've seen. Currently here in southeast Missouri, it's 94 in Festus, as well as in Potosi and St. Genevieve, 95 in Ironton, Ellington at 95, as well as in Van Buren, and 94 in Poplar Bluff. As we head through the evening hours, mostly sunny skies, 92 at 7 p.m., 84 by 9 p.m. clear skies, and clear skies at midnight with temperature around 76. I'll give you more details on your weekend forecast coming up a little bit later in weather.
Registration for the fall semester at Mineral Area College is now underway. Registrar Linda Huffman says students are encouraged to enroll as early as possible because classes start filling up this time of each year. Linda notes that fall registration started back in April. She says the first step for a new or transfer student is to go to the college's website at mineralarea.edu.
Click on admissions and complete an application for admission. That gets a student in our demographics. And from that point on, admissions will guide them through what they need to submit to them to attend Mineral Area College. And the same thing is true of transfer students.
Linda says there's a slightly different procedure for returning MAX students who have taken some time off.
Former students who have laid out one semester, former MAX students, also need to go online and just complete an application update for us. That way we have their major correct and their address correct and their demographics all correct.
MAX fall semester classes start on August 20th. The St. Francis County Jail is once again keeping federal inmates. When Sheriff Dan Bullock visited our 18 Eyewitness News studios, he told us there was an incident between inmates a few months back.
We had an inmate get hurt at our facility, and that's not an uncommon thing, and some allegations of some sexual charges. Anytime you're in the prison system, the jail, the federal or the state system, these things happen.
Sheriff Bullock says the incident brought to a head issues between both federal authorities and his department. However, an agreement was worked out and the federal inmates are once again back in the county jail.
Kind of offsets the cost of running the facility. The taxpayers here have to maintain a jail, and the lights have to be on, and we have to run the heating and air conditioning and things anyway. And the money we get off those federal inmates kind of offsets the cost of that and takes some of the burden off the taxpayers here.
Sheriff Bullock says the jail normally has around 15 to 25 federal inmates as a way to generate revenue for the facility. Most voters would expect campaign ads would not put a candidate's opponent in the best light. But one Butler County candidate is now admitting one of his charges against his opponent is false. According to media reports, presiding commissioner Ed Strinfel, who is running for sheriff, was asked in a public meeting by incumbent Mark Dobbs to provide proof that a wrongful death lawsuit against the sheriff's department had cost taxpayers $500,000, as claimed in Strinfel's ad. Strinfel then admitted his ads were wrong. And when we come back, this is the last weekend 2 beaches at Wappapello Lake will be open. That story is coming up only on 18 Eyewitness News.
When you're looking for quality home furnishings, appliances, and more, look no further than Heartland Furniture and Appliance. Heartland Furniture and Appliance offers great low prices every day and 6 months same as cash financing. No hassle leasing and great customer service. With 3 locations to better serve you, the customer. In Doniphan, Dexter, and Piedmont on both sides of Main Street. Heartland Furniture and Appliance.
Sing a song about the Heartland. Sing a song about my life.
Oh, the blood of Jesus washes. Let it wash you this morning. Oh, the blood of Jesus shed for me. What a sacrifice that saved my life. With the blood, it is my victory.
Take control of your future by enrolling at the Unitech Career Center. Discover a new career with Unitech's nursing programs or the opportunities with Unitech's sheet metal fabricating program, or turn your hobby into a career with Unitech's power sports equipment program. From electrical trades to automotive technology programs, the first step to a well-paying future starts at the Unitech Career Center, Raider Road in Bonne Terre. For adult information, call 358-3011. For high school information, call 358-2271.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins, Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp, and Jeremy Martin with sports. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers at Wappapello Lake has issued a burn ban until further notice due to the dry conditions. The ban prohibits the use of charcoal or wood fires. Visitors to recreation areas and campgrounds on Wappapello Lake are allowed to use attended gas grills or stovetops only. The Corps noted that grass fires have already been fought around Wappapello Lake. On a separate issue, spokesman Andrew Jefferson says this will be the last weekend 2 of Wappapello's beaches will be open.
On July the 30th, the Rockwood Point and Redmond Creek beaches will be closing for the season. Nothing to do with the drought or anything. This is just a planned action. We will continue to keep Peoples Creek Beach open until the end of August, roughly around Labor Day weekend, whereas we'll close out Peoples Creek Beach for the summer.
Earlier this year, the Corps announced the beaches would be closing earlier than their traditional schedule as a cost-saving measure. Central Middle School principal Mike Harlow will be back in court on October 4th. Harlow was scheduled to go to trial Tuesday before Associate Circuit Judge Wendy Wexler Horn. However, the case was continued at the request of his attorney. Harlow, along with Vice Principal Tracy Casey, are facing a Class A misdemeanor of violating the Safe Schools Act by failing to report school violence. The charge stems from a March incident where a 14-year-old boy kneed a 12-year-old girl, fracturing her tailbone. A week later, when confronted by the school's resource officer, Harlow and Casey admitted they were aware of the incident but did not report it at the time. If convicted, they could each receive 1 year in the county jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Getting the word out about what's going on in Bonne Terre will soon be easier thanks to a new electronic billboard. The City Council recently approved a request from the Chamber of Commerce Community Betterment Committee for the sign. Chamber Director Nancy Dill says the sign will let folks know what's going on in the city.
There's so many events that go into things happening in Bonne Terre, and we just don't really have a way to get it out there. You know, with people, so many people just come to that intersection and don't come all the way in, and we've got so much to offer them that we want them to come on in, so we want to be able to tell them about it, and we thought that sign would be a perfect way to do that.
Nancy says the sign will be placed above the Welcome to Bonne Terre sign at the intersection of Benham Street and Berry Road. The $18,000 for the sign and the dedicated computer to program it is being paid for by advertising. Nancy says they've already raised around $15,000 of that amount needed. The Ozark National Scenic Riverways will host a free Ozark Dinner Theater this coming Saturday evening at Big Spring. The event will be held at the Desperation Era Farm just before the campground. Spokesperson Faye Wamsley says the dinner theater highlights traditional Ozark life and culture, especially when it comes to entertainment.
We have the Buzzard Run Bluegrass Band that's going to be performing, and the Country Fire Cloggers will also be performing. And this is free as well. And this is from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. that evening.
Faye says folks are invited to bring a blanket or lawn chair to enjoy the fun of a simpler time. She adds catfish dinners as well as other food and drink items will be available for purchase at the event. When we come back, tracking injuries in the weight room. You may be surprised to know who is lifting and who is getting hurt doing it. Next in today's Your Health segment.
A little bit of relief is on the way for the weekend. I have all the details coming up next in weather.
When someone comes in a Mineral Area's emergency department, our focus is giving them the best treatment in the quickest manner possible. We track every single patient, sending the doctors information before they even walk in the room. We have dedicated X-ray and CT equipment in our emergency department. We don't have to waste any time running all over the hospital. We know that minutes count in an emergency, and you can count on ER Plus at Mineral Area Regional Medical Center.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker 18 weather forecast with Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp.
And welcome back. We saw warm weather today. More warm weather is on the way in the 7-day forecast. But what's in store for the weekend? I'll show you that coming up too. But right now, looking at weather headlines, we are seeing that sunshine is going to stay in place for the next several days. Warm times throughout the next several days into next week. And it looks like a chance of possible thunderstorms towards the end of next week, giving us a little bit of relief. Here in southeast Missouri, it's warm out there. 95 in Cape Girardeau, 94 in St. Genevieve, as well as in Festus, 94 in Potosi, 95 in Van Buren. And right now here at the studio, we have current temperature of 95 degrees under a mostly sunny sky. Feels like 95 out there, so we don't have much in the way of a heat index. Current dew point 60 with 30% humidity and northwest wind at 9 miles per hour. As we head through the day tomorrow, we're going to see more sunshine through southeast Missouri. However, temperatures will be a little bit cooler than what we saw today. So for tonight, we'll see clear skies, low around 69. Not too bad out there. Northwest wind 5 to 10. 63 in Festus, 64 in St. Genevieve. Ironton 64, 65 in Van Buren, 66 in Ellington, Poplar Bluff at 70. Then for tomorrow, we'll see a high around 96 degrees. Some areas a little bit cooler, like in Festus, 95, as well as in St. Genevieve. Ellington 96, 97 in Van Buren, and 96 in Poplar Bluff with light to variable winds. Plenty of sunshine to go along with it. The next several days are looking like this here in southeast Missouri. On Sunday, high of 97 degrees. Partly sunny skies, partly sunny from Monday through Thursday. We're starting to warm things back up. Temperature around 100 degrees. But look at that. On Friday, scattered thunderstorms are likely with a high of 95. Another look at our weekend forecast. On Saturday, 96, mostly sunny skies. Low around 69. Then 97 on Sunday with partly sunny skies. That's checking your Storm Tracker weather forecast. More details we'll look at froggy96online.com. Just click on the weather tab. Aaron, back to you.
Thanks, Dustin. Well, when you think of those who lift weights, you probably automatically think of young men. But a new national study shows they are not the only ones who are pumping iron and not the only ones who are getting injured while doing it. Researchers have combed through nearly 20 years of injury reports, and their findings may surprise you. For more on who is lifting, who's getting hurt, and how to avoid it, here's Clark Powell.
It is the first comprehensive study to focus solely on injuries during weight training. Over an 18-year period from 1990 to 2007, researchers plotted injuries from dropped weights to pinched fingers and found that as this form of exercise grows, so do trips to the hospital.
We found that nearly 1 million people, over 970,000 people, sustained weight training-related injuries during that time period.
Dawn Comstock is the researcher at Nationwide Children's Hospital who led the study. She says the number of those who are getting hurt may not be as surprising as the types of people who are getting hurt. Comstock, who is also with Ohio State University, found that injuries among teenage girls, for example, shot up a staggering 143%.
And their increase was much higher than the increase among males. So although weight training traditionally has been an activity of young males, our data now shows that more females are participating.
Let's pump some iron here. Come on.
That's not surprising to Marianne Grimes. She's coached for 34 years and says in the last 20, she's seen a surge in girls committed to weight training, a change she has encouraged when done safely and with proper supervision.
You know, there's, really not a successful program in high school or college that doesn't have a top-notch weightlifting program.
If your daughter or son is lifting, experts recommend keeping these tips in mind. First, never lift alone. It's best to have a coach or a trainer nearby at all times. Always use a spotter and be sure to start slowly and build up to heavier weights. Most injuries happen, experts say, not because kids are lifting too much, but because they're supervised too little. At Nationwide Children's Hospital, this is Clark Powell reporting.
While teenage girls showed the biggest increase in weightlifting injuries among the young, experts say the biggest jump belonged to those 45 and older. Typically, younger people were hurt with free weights, and older people were injured by using weight machines and spraining or straining their muscles. And coming up in today's Your Life segment, if you're using your age as an excuse to not stay active, you'll need to come up with a different one. Just watch today's Focus on the Family.
Your health is brought to you by Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy of Deloge, where caring for you and about you is our business. From taking time to explain your medication, offering a caring touch, to a full line of medical equipment, supplies, and diabetic shoes. We'll help you understand your options and assist you with Medicare drug plan enrollment with a comfortable waiting area, convenient drive-through or free delivery. Caring for our neighbors is our business. Your locally owned Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy just off of Highway 67 at the Deloge exit. When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
You get to be a certain age and you need to slow down, right? Well, Dr. Bill Meyer has an answer that may surprise you in today's Focus on the Family.
You know, my back hurts, my knees hurt, my hip hurts.
At age 73, it's not surprising to hear that Bruce has a few aches and pains. What is surprising is why.
I've done the Ironman in Hawaii 3 times. It's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 miles on the bike, and then a 26.2 mile run.
Well, now you know why he's so sore.
And I really enjoy the swimming. I enjoy riding the bicycle, and then the running is very hard for me, mentally and physically.
Although he may not enjoy the running part of the competition, it doesn't seem to have hurt his results.
The last time I placed 3rd in my age group.
Bruce's Ironman training has actually become a family affair. His son has competed several times, and his granddaughter wants to join them too, but she isn't quite ready to enter yet.
I'll be in my 80s when she's old enough to compete and try to qualify. So that's the goal right now, is try to go at least into my 80s.
So what motivates a man at this age to train harder than most people do in their 20s and 30s?
I just like to live well while I am living. I don't do it because I want to live longer. I just want to be able to get around and enjoy things as I get older.
I firmly believe that there's a correlation between being physically fit and maintaining your mental faculties. We have to be realistic that we can't do some of the things that we did at one time, but at the same time we want to make sure that we try to do as many things physically and mentally as we possibly can.
Remember, if you haven't been active for a while, get the all clear from your doctor before starting any exercise program. By starting out nice and easy, there's no telling how far you can eventually go.
And I felt like I could do that, and I did. I finished in 12 and a half hours, and the rewards from it are so satisfying.
For Focus on the Family, I'm Dr. Bill Meyer.
For more valuable information on life, issues, relationships, and family, please visit FocusOnTheFamilyTV.com. Today's Plugged In Movie Review is looking at the new movie Step Up Revolution.
The movie Step Up Revolution is a story of dancing and dreams. Rich girl Emily longs to be a professional dancer, and she auditions for the prestigious Wynwood Academy. Unfortunately, she has one big problem. For all of her polished finesse and flexible grace, Emily just doesn't have enough spark of originality. And after she squeaks through the first audition process, the Academy's director tells her as much. Sean, on the other hand, is nothing if not original. This local Miami boy is all flash and style, a panache he picked up on the street and buffed to a sheen with his flash dance crew, the Mob.
Their videos quickly going viral. These local dancers are turning into something of a cultural phenomenon.
As you might guess, the handsome 20-somethings are destined to meet. Perhaps together they can help each other realize their dreams, aid Sean's struggling waterfront community, and fall in love along the way. All while dancing up a storm, of course. This fourth Step Up flick is a music video-styled romance that's packed to the brim with incredibly choreographed dance numbers. For all of its happily ever after-laced upbeat moves, though, there are also a few stumbles. Some language problems mar the fun, along with a little drinking, an eye full of well-toned flesh, and some pretty steamy dance moves. I'll knock my rating down a bit and give Step Up Revolution 3 backflips out of 5 for family friendliness. For an in-depth review on this film or reviews of anything else playing at your local theater, come visit us at PluggedIn.com or download our smartphone app. Plugging you into the movies, I'm Cheryl Wilhelmy for Focus on the Family's Plugged In Movie Review.
You can find reviews of other current movies, DVD releases, as well as music, games, and TV shows at PluggedIn.com.
And coming up in sports, Cardinals manager Mike Matheny is keeping a close eye on his bullpen. We'll wrap up our look at the Rams defense, and Mizzou football is already building their next freshman class. These stories and more coming up in sports on 18 Eyewitness News.
Attention, Accutane warning. If you have Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, or inflammatory bowel disease, it may have been caused by the acne drug Accutane. Accutane victims have recently been awarded millions of dollars. Do not delay. There are time deadlines to file a claim.
Call the Rely On Group now to be connected with an experienced attorney. There is absolutely no risk on your part. You don't owe us a penny unless we are successful.
Call the Rely On Group at 800-698-3105.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, call now to get the new talking meter. These new meters are more accurate, they're easier to use, and the best news is you don't have to prick your fingers anymore. Arriva makes it simple. They bill Medicare directly. There are no upfront costs, and they deliver your supplies right to your door for free.
For more information, call 1-800-587-7095.
This is Sports Zone, only on 18 Eyewitness News, with Jeremy Martin.
The Cardinals had just about every available reliever warm up during their 12-inning win over the Dodgers on Wednesday night, but only 3 guys, Mitchell Boggs, Jason Mott, and Fernando Salas, actually left the bullpen. Even if they don't enter the game, warming up can sometimes be enough work for his relievers to leave manager Mike Matheny with a short list of available arms the next day. Matheny is keeping a close eye on Boggs, who's made 9 appearances this month, and left-handers Barrett Browning and Mark Zepchinski because they warm up almost daily as of late. Matheny says he and the coaching staff will often go into the game knowing that certain relievers will need a day to rest, and they keep that in mind while trying to determine matchups.
Wrapping up our look at the Rams defense, James Laurinaitis will resume his role as middle linebacker and defensive play caller. But the spots that are the most readily available are the outside linebackers. Jolon Dunbar, who came to the Rams as a free agent, figures to nail down one of the starting jobs. It's more likely he'll wind up on the strong side, but he could also play the weak side. Opposite him, the Rams have Rocky McIntosh and Mario Hagan, a pair of veterans with plenty of experience who figure to be two-down linebackers for the Rams. And Mizzou football is already building next year's freshman class as Rockwood Summit linebacker Eric Beisel made a verbal commitment to the Tigers. The senior inside linebacker was recruited by dozens of college football programs from coast to coast. He had narrowed down his list of schools to Mizzou, Arkansas, Nebraska, and Illinois. The 6'4", 235-pounder led Rockwood Summit with 110 tackles as a junior and also registered 1 sack and 1 fumble recovery. The Falcons standout competed with the U.S. Under-19 national team at a tournament in Texas earlier this month and was one of 24 players selected to the event's all-tournament team. Beisel is Missouri's 6th early pledge from the St. Louis area. And that's a look at sports. Aaron and Dustin, back over to you.
Few spotted showers throughout the week, but Dustin, it looks like we're going to see some more hot temperatures through the weekend. A little bit of relief. Tell us more about it, will you?
We do have a little bit of relief. Temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler than what we've seen. Looking at the 7-day forecast this weekend, we're going to see temperatures in the mid-90s for the most part. Plenty of sunshine. Then next week, we're starting to creep back towards 100 degrees. And then next Friday, it looks like we could see some scattered thunderstorms in the area. Temperature around 95 degrees.
Well, you know, any rain is better than none. That's what I say. So we had some scattered showers, a little bit of damage in some of our viewing area, but nothing major or, of course, severe. Of course, a heat advisory was in effect and an excessive heat warning was in effect for part of the viewing area for much of the week. But looks like we are going to see some cooler temperatures this weekend. Still be careful out there. Be sure to stay hydrated, stay in the shade if you can, and of course, just be careful in general. Of course, any heat-related illness is a very serious thing.
Very true. Very true. Stay hydrated, as Aaron said. It's one of those situations. We've had a hot summer. We're continuing to have a hot summer. It's not normal. We're way above normal. We haven't seen these temperatures in a long time, so people are not used to it. So.
A lot of people are comparing this to the warmth and drought of 1988 and then, of course, before that. That'll do it for us on 18 Eyewitness News this evening. I'm Aaron Cox.
And I'm Dustin Cobb. Have a great evening, everybody. Newswatch is next. We'll see you tonight at 10.
Do you see news happening in your neighborhood? Email us at news@kdkz.tv.
Here's what's coming up tonight on KDKZ 18.